just the loss of Jake. I mean, what does that mean for you guys? You know, in terms of playmaking ability and stuff. I mean, yes, you see it from a different side, you know, on the side of the ball, but you can tell obviously what value he is, right?
Yeah, certainly. Jake, you know, everyone knows Jake's such an explosive and dominant player. You know, it's just part of the game. As much as I hate to say it, you know, because I certainly don't want to wish that on anyone, especially Jake, you know, being one of my closest friends. But, you know, this is Michigan. Like Coach Hoke says, you know, people have to step up, and, you know, that's what spring ball's for people you know, to compete and step up and fill the roles.
How is Jake handling what's going on?
He's handling pretty well from a mental standpoint. You know, he's pretty strong-willed. He's doing okay.
You mentioned that guys had to step up. Obviously, Cam Gordon is probably going to be one of them. Any of the other guys that you've seen that you really think, you know, this is a guy who can provide some of what Jake would have provided?
I can't really name anyone specifically, just because, you know, it's only been, you know, our fourth practice today, and so it's kind of early in spring, and just because, you know, looking across the ball, you know, they rotate so many guys in, so it's not like, you know, I can't really name anyone specifically.
You and Jeremy have a lot of experience, but what about the other wide receivers? What have they shown so far?
I think, including the winter conditioning part leading up to the first few practices of spring ball, they've just kind of shown a want to get better, a mentality that, you know, they realize they have an opportunity to get better, and, you know, I think, especially with the leadership of me and Gallen and Jeremy Jackson, Joe Reynolds, I think that they've just kind of shown that they're trying to be persistent at getting better.
Has anyone stepped up beyond yourself and Jeremy? Gallen?
Really, you know, I think they all have. J.U. Chesson, Amar Darbo, Bo Deaver's done pretty well. You know, really all of them. Even, you know, the newer, younger guys, Brad Anloff, who I don't know if y'all have heard of, and Anthony Capitino.
You had mentioned that there was not as much leadership as you guys would have liked the last couple of years. What do you attribute that to, and how are you guys going to be different as veterans now? That you're part of that group?
I think it was just the whole mentality when Coach Hoke and his staff came in. The whole mentality changed. Just obviously it wasn't really where it needed to be, you know, with the previous staff. And I think just time will tell. And Coach Hoke and Coach Wallman have done a really good job of kind of changing the mentality of what it needs to be. And I think our senior class just kind of like have seen what the last 2 years have done and just kind of build on that.
So it's an ongoing process then, building that kind of leadership and culture of leadership, I guess.
Certainly.
Coach Hoke's done some stuff in the past with leadership, like the Navy SEALs last year, going out to California. Is anything like that happening this year that you know of? I mean,
I think we're going to the Navy SEALs thing again. I'm not really sure. They're kind of looking into that. We've kind of done some bonding things over the winter conditioning that kind of helped a little bit.
like what?
Just some group stuff as far as position groups doing certain things, or just meeting, talking to certain people.
Okay.
What are those meetings like when you heard all last year about the senior meetings, what they talked about to be in them? Is that different?
Yeah, it's a little different, especially now because it's kind of at the beginning of my senior year. It's nothing to say like new as far as like what we're hearing, because Coach Hoke is always pretty open with the team. It's just kind of embracing the fact that we're seniors now and kind of going with that.
Does it feel like the last 3 years have flown by?
Yes, yeah. I was telling someone the other day I can still picture myself and listening to Rich Rod in the back of a meeting room, and now it's I'm sitting in the front row listening to Coach Hoke, thankfully, and so it's just a little different. The time's flown by.
Are there any regrets about having burned your first season there with, you were doing stuff with holding, but is that still something that you kind of wish that you had that season back so you could...
People ask me that a lot, and I would have to say no, just because my personality is I would have hated to redshirt and sit out a year and not travel and just kind of be sitting in the dorm on a Saturday, during away games. So no regrets, and I learned a lot my freshman year. Holding, returning punts and kickoffs, so no regrets.